Have you ever woken up from a dream so good that in the immediate moments after you wake, it's like you're still kind of living it? It's a special kind of fuzzy feeling that everything was just right, that all was as it should be. Before inevitably that feeling is replaced with bittersweetness because now it's gone, but it was true for a moment. Somehow, episode 7 of Arcane's second season managed to give me that feeling even though I was wide awake. For us viewers who were so emotionally invested in Zaun's struggles, this was a gift. After my first watch, I actually wasn't too happy about the conclusion to Vi and Jinx's story. I felt like this moment went a little too fast and the way it happened actually annoyed me a bit. Vi spends a little too long given the circumstances on an emotional moment with an obvious and immediate danger, which causes Jinx to have to jump in for the rescue and ends in the caught by the arm before falling to a certain death cliche. My only saving grace with this moment was the fact that Jinx didn't die. Here's all the evidence. Which ultimately makes this moment a little less emotional, but that works better for me because if this was indeed supposed to be the big Jinx sacrifice, then I just don't think it holds up because of a, slightly tame build-up. It just feels a little too plot convenient that Vi has that small lapse of self-control which then leads to dire repercussions. Although I guess we could draw parallels to how a small lapse in self-control made her lose powder last time, and now once again. I admit, when viewed through that lens, it is definitely better. Still though, I have this feeling that it was kind of brushed over, but because Jinx survives, I'm just way more okay with it overall. I'm so biased because she's my favorite character. I do however like that the sisters are not meant to be together, even though it's what I desired, or rather, I just wanted them to reconcile, which they kinda did, to be fair. And there's a kind of tragic beauty in the fact that we're shown that they both find love after the other one dies. At least in these two different timelines. But anyway, episode 7 took this show to new heights, and I never expected it. I'm not usually a fan of separate timelines and multiverse stuff, because it always feels like one timeline matters less in comparison to the main one. But here, this secondary timeline matters to me just as much as the original one. I think this show is better for having both of these endings, and it's because of my emotional investment that it works. That's how they could pull it off. I wanted to see Powder happy, and I got to see and feel what that was like. It's like it's been a deep emotional need for us viewers who wanted to see her happy, but watched her descend into Jinx. And it's a weird battle between head and heart because I only resonated so deeply with it because I saw the other outcome. I wouldn't feel this way if it wasn't for all the tragedy that I've witnessed. And to see all of these Zaunites in this bright and happy environment was so heartwarming. In my first video about Arcane, I talked about how the Zaunites are the heart of the show, and for all of us who sighed and feel for the Zaunites, it was like getting a big ol' hug from all of them seeing them in this way. Happy. But it's not without its own small tragedies. Vi has died, obviously, which is a source of sadness for the characters, but mainly the most tragic part is that we're following Echo from the main timeline. Ultimately, we are watching this version of Zaun through the same lens as him, and it makes us, the viewers, feel wistful and melancholic about it all. It's sad that he's not able to have this in his own timeline, but we're happy at least that he got to experience it. And just the fact that I know that there's a timeline where my two favorite characters end up together, that is why episode 7 is the perfect dream. On a small side note, I only really noticed the significance of this necklace on my second watch. Surely it's Echo who made it for her, and if not to remember him by, because that was a bit of a chance encounter that she saw him from the other timeline, it must have been for Echo's own sake that he gave it to her. For him to feel like he gave a bit of himself to Powder. She finds it when she puts her hands in her pockets, and I went back to see if I could spot the moment when he might have snuck it into her jacket, but I couldn't find it. I think, however, that it could have happened right here during this moment. And also, it's clearly a blue flower which symbolizes peace, healing, and love, specifically unattainable love. And it looks like it's been made from refined leftovers of the crystals. And also, I hope you noticed this little detail that both of their faces are actually within it. I love that stuff. This is probably my last Arcane video for at least a good while. Currently I'm working on some gaming content which is coming soon, so lay down a sub if you think you might be into that. I hope you liked this video, and if I don't see you before, then I hope you have some happy holidays and an awesome new year. Peace.